Legends of Khampiohn, the Genesis era. A non-profit D&D fan-based audio drama. Written by Brad J. Taylor and D.T. Prater. Inspired by the unpublished works of Ruechelle Hill. Chapter 8. A Gathering Storm.
You're getting faster. I thought I'd gotten away that time.
You'll see. One day, you won't be able to catch me at all.
Bet I'd still be able to get you.
Not if Ahnbiir teaches me how to tree step, you won't.
That would be awesome. If we were on the ground. I heard you were learning to cloud step from Thonor.
He keeps saying, when you can outrun my hammer, then you'll be ready to learn cloud stepping.
He's having you on. Even he can't outrun his hammer. That's why he rigged it to return to his hand.
Rigged or not, I know that Jahrrett's outrun that hammer a few times.
Really? Jahrett must be super fast.
I think Jahrett makes that hammer vanish through the portals just so they can trick Thonor into thinking they're fast. Whatever it is, it never ceases to make me laugh when Thonor has that face when Jahrett outpaces the hammer.
Oh, that face when he goes red in the cheeks from embarrassment.
It's when he tries to play it off. I didn't throw it hard enough. I'll double the distance next time. And he doubles it, and Jahrett still outruns it. Apparently there's a celebration happening later. Ckegdromas is hosting one of those dance parties. I love those parties. Ckegdromas always had new songs from their travels, too.
I'm going to try and convince Ahnbiir to come with me. He could do with letting his hair down a little. He's been so uptight lately.
Wait, does Ahnbiir actually dance? This I've got to see.
He can be quite graceful, you know. What about you? Got your eye on anyone?
Isirithon's got a thing for one of the Earth Titans. I do not have a thing.
Oh, are we talking about Ulrich? To be fair, he is quite striking.
And the son of a primal. Isirithon's got some high standards. He's really sweet. And he's a student in the healing arts. It's got nothing to do with whether he's the son of a primal or not. And anyway, you can talk about standards. You're betrothed to Infernos.
The young fire primal? Wow, when are you going to tell us about that?
You never asked.
How's your father about that?
He's not one to trust easily, but he wants me to be happy. I can understand he's protective of you, especially when it comes to the Fire Clan. He's always been wary of them.
I still don't understand that.
It's something to do with their duty of keeping the great enemy bound in his chains. He says they're more at risk of corruption than the rest of us, because they have to venture into the enemy's domain.
It's been generations since that task was given to them. Surely they've built up a resistance to the enemy's ways by now.
There's always a risk with that thing. That's true. But honestly, I don't think we'll ever have to worry whilst Infernos is in charge of the Fire Clan.
Alakai willing, we can finally enjoy the peace of this new world.
Just to the right a little. Ah, perfect.
This looks amazing. Are these actual relics on the lead up to the centerpiece?
If these were real, my boy, I think the Empire might have put more security in place. These are merely replicas made by each of the vassal temples as visual representations.
Ah, I see. Still, it looks fantastic.
It does, doesn't it? A grand stage for one of the greatest tales that this world will ever know.
Speaking of tales, you stopped halfway through the last part.
That is quite the tome you have there. I trust you're managing its content well.
I had to get new ink and quills about 100 times. It's going to be quite the treasure.
Well then, let's continue to add to that treasure, shall we? Now, where were we?
So, the AVINGER passed their trials, Isirithon got a shiny trinket, and the angels agreed to help them against Vypus.
Excellent. Let us begin. Knowing that time was of the essence, and numbers were low, Chronotress and Ahtreyu moved quickly to the northern fringes of Galhart to attempt to rally any remaining loyalists to their cause. It so happened that there was a small tribe of Earth Titans that had been surviving in the northernmost forests and had, so far, avoided Infernos' renegades and the terrible shadow beasts that had recently been ransacking the area.
I forgot how far out they were.
True. But if Elkai has guided us here, then it was worth the journey.
I hope we make it back to the rendezvous in time.
We will. But I fear there's a possibility that Infernos will have already moved on Vypus by the time we're gathered.
Well, if he wants to be an idiot, that's on him.
Yes, but if that possible occurrence happens, then something far worse will follow.
You think the great enemy will be unleashed again?
That's already beginning. It's just a matter of how powerful he will be. There are thousands, if not millions, of possible outcomes to each situation. It simply depends on which happens first. For example, I've seen this occurrence before we even tried to take this path. But the outcome is not yet set in stone.
What of our tasks? Can they be changed?
No. Those are things that must be in order for this world to be saved.
I am willing to die for Elkai, but I confess, I am still fearful.
I must admit I am also. But trust in Elkai. He will not abandon us.
I know. Ah, I think we're here. This is too quiet.
I see we've happened across our potential allies.
See, normally they'd answer to my father, but I feel they may need a bit more persuading.
At that moment, several Earth Titans emerge, dressed in furs and armed with makeshift spears and axes, with a look of the wild in their eyes.
You. Who are you that comes to our land?
Friends, my name is Chronotress. I come seeking your aid.
You are a son of Elkai? Who is this one?
I am Ahtreyu Sunwolf, son of Ahnbiir First Wolf, and born of your blood. We need your help, loyal ones of the Creator. We are, all of us, in danger by the one called Vypus. He seeks to destroy this world and all who dwell upon it as a sacrifice to the great enemy. We are too few to stop him. We need your help.
Upon finishing this sentence, an Earth Titan of immense size approached, adorned in white furs and standing taller than the rest.
A leader, then?
It certainly seemed so. She carried herself with great authority and stature.
Ahtreyu, you've certainly grown. I remember you in Swaddling. This is our young prince who travels with our savior. Lower your arms and prepare a feast.
Mother Elk, you haven't changed at all.
It took us quite a while to find you. How have you avoided our detection for so long?
We have been surviving in the wild realm. Time is different there.
The wild realm? I didn't realize we could travel there.
That would explain why I couldn't sense any of you before.
It was never our intention to hide from our duty. Before the rebellion, my tribe was working to create the wild realm as a place where all of the surplus creative energies from the world's creation could grow untamed. It was our gift from Alkai. It was to be a home for the Titans who wanted to remain on Khampiohn when the mortal races were born. From there, they could help the mortals tap into the creative powers as they built their homes without needing to directly interfere. Alkai had willed it so. And through us, he could help the races that would live upon the Ark-world to find peace away from the prying eyes of the great enemy. Death would never be a factor anymore, nor illness or taint. It was an ever-flowing power of life and joy. The mortals would never be without fuel for their warmth, or food for their hunters. All they would ever need to do was to pray to Alkai, and through prayer, gain everlasting harvest. Then, the rebellion happened.
A sorrowful time indeed.
Indeed, my Lord Warden. As you know, the Earth Titans were among the first to begin turning on each other. Some, like the Jackal tribe and the Snake tribe, began to tell of all the destruction the mortals would bring, echoing the misguided words of the Fire Primal. They argued the wild realm should be for Titans, and Titans alone. Mortals would only desecrate it for their own selfish ambitions. Alas, many of us fell victim to the beliefs, and so began the War of the Wilds.
My mother told me of this war. She said that the loss of life was incalculable. She also said it led to the creation of the Shadow Realm.
Indeed, the blood of the Loyalists and Renegades fell as rivers in that season, facing the utter destruction of not only our kin, but also the realm itself, which would have led to the Ark-world being nothing more than an ashen place. Alkai gave myself and few of the remaining wardens of the Glade the single objective of sealing the realm away.
How was it opened again?
Your mother was gifted with the key.
Yes, Dyani had been given a singular gift by Alkai. He knew that the time was fast approaching when the wild realm's power would be needed once more to restore the world. Then the leader of the Snake tribe, Vypus, discovered what she had. And in a move to further his ambition, he sought to take the key to break open the wild realm and imbibe its power to create his alpha race. Anything that was left, he would offer as sacrifice to the great enemy.
I don't understand. You knew about this, Chronotress?
Yes.
Why did you not intervene when he came for her? Where were you?
I did intervene. I sent the raven to her that warned of his coming.
Then why didn't you get her to flee with us? Why didn't you use your powers to stop him? Why did my father take so long to get to her?
I tried.
You should have tried harder. You could have stopped all of this.
I cannot contradict free will. Such a thing would be against everything I am. I tried to persuade her many times, but she refused to flee. She knew that if she had tried, Vypus would have killed all of you. She chose to stay behind and fight for the same reason she begged me to use my gifts to get you away. I tried to get your father back to her as fast as I could, but...
But what? What prevented you?
When the rebellion began, my strength began to ebb away. My abilities were weakened. I had to conserve as much as I could so that I may do what needs to be done. I've known for a long time that this is my last mission. All the losses I've seen, the heartbreaks. Do you not think that I have felt them too? I have felt every single one from the moment they all became possibilities. I've cried, screamed, became enraged over every one of them. I've endured heartbreak beyond measure again and again and again. But I knew then, just as I know now, that if this world is to be reborn, if Elkai's will is to be done, then I need to prepare for what is to come. I've seen my own ends, and of all the ends I've seen, the only one that truly saves this world, and many others, is this road that I am on now. I'm sorry for your mother, but she knew how important all of this was, how important you are, and your sister. That's why she stayed. Not for me, but for you.
I know that I must be the one to kill Vypus. But beyond that, why am I so important?
Because you and your sister together are the key to reopen the Wild Realm. When this world ends, we can rebuild it according to Alkai's will. With your help.
I don't even know how to do that.
It will become clear when the time comes.
I'm sorry, Chronotress. All of this. I just feel overwhelmed by it all.
I felt like that the first time I discovered what needed to be done. Trust in Elkai. He will help you through it all, I promise you.
In the meantime, I must rally the remaining tribes. Take this horn. When you sound it, we will come.
Thank you.
I don't understand. I thought Vypus wanted to kill Dyani because he got beaten. I thought it was some sort of revenge.
It was, but it was also because he wanted to access the Wild Realm. You see, the Wild Realm does not just exist as a plane of our world, but it also links worlds across the multiverse. From there, you can pretty much hop, skip, and jump to anywhere in creation.
All that power at Vypus's fingertips. I see. So he didn't realize the key was Dyani's bloodline. He thought it was some sort of artifact?
Indeed, he did.
And he never figured it out?
Not at first, but towards the end, he began to realize the connection between the Wild Realm and Dyani's children.
He was at a disadvantage at last?
Oh, yes. But it wasn't enough to halt his plans. With enough power absorbed into the Darkheart, he was hoping to break the chains of the Devourer. And if he could do that, he would be able to follow the Devourer through the multiverse without ever needing to use the Wild Realm.
So the only way to stop that would be to banish the Devourer before any of this happened.
If it were only that simple. True, the Loyalists had more of a chance with their current advantage. But whilst the Darkheart was in play, Vypus could absorb the powers of any who stood against him with very little effort.
So they need to destroy that first, take away his ability to take their power, and then he'd be easier to defeat.
In an ideal situation, it would be as straightforward as that, yes. But, as you will find, this was never an easy task. Whilst Chronotress and Ahtreyu were rallying allies, so too was Vypus. He had already sent in his spy, Kohbra, to gather information from among the renegades, and Ada had already begun to corrupt Isirithon. But he was also nearing completion of one of the greatest threats the Elvahiren would ever face.
Just a few more altercations.
My lord, forgive the intrusion, but I have further news.
Yes, I expect you do. Why else would you enter without being summoned?
Forgive me, my lord, but this couldn't wait for a summon.
Well then, don't just stand there gawking like a fool. Spit it out! I do not have the patience for guessing games.
Infernos has decided not to wait for the AVINGER. He is planning to strike without them.
That is so very typical of him. Well, things seem to be progressing as planned then. Let us prepare for his arrival.
Thora is summoning more of the dead titans as we speak to bolster his forces.
Fantastic! Little do they know that those she has conjured will ultimately turn upon her once I bring the full power of the Dark Heart to bear upon them. Any news of our other concerns?
No, Lord, but I will report as soon as that changes.
Well then, why are you still here? It's time to put our plan into action. You are aware of the coordinates you shall lead the renegades to, I trust?
Yes, my lord, of course. They shall follow my lead into your grasp.
Good. Soon I shall have Infernos' power as well as Thora's. Our time is near. Go now, complete your duty, and I shall see you richly rewarded.
By your command, Lord.
Lord Vypus, we have the Earth Primal as you ordered.
I should have known you were behind this, coward. I hid behind your creations, fearful of the knowledge that in single combat anyone of my kin could crush you.
Oh, my. Such poor manners in the presence of your new master, Gofaden.
Holy Alkai may command me. You have no authority, snakeling.
Oh, you misunderstand me, Ancient One. I don't need to command you. I don't need you to comply in the slightest. I merely need your power.
You'll never get my power, for the breath of Alkai is within me.
It's just as well I don't need that either. All I need is for you to die. And then I drain your power to this delightful little artifact. You see, normally, I'd drain it from you whilst you're alive. But I find myself in need of expediency. So you'll forgive my rudeness, but I just don't have time to drag this out. Fear not, we shall find a new use for your body, just as we did the water primal. Take comfort in the knowledge that your death will be a part of a great destiny. My destiny. Yes. It is almost complete. Soon, I will break open your prison, Master, and we shall rule over everything. Send a detachment to hunt down the Air Primal. Once you have them, bring them to me. As for the rest of the army, prepare our little welcome for Infernos and his fools.
At once, Lord! What of our allies in the mountain and the Jackal tribe?
Oh, yes, I'd almost forgotten about them. Tell them their true lord awaits their prompt arrival.
By your command!
I have received word from Ahtreya. She has failed to stop the AVINGER from enlisting the angels. But she assured me that she has an even greater gift for our conquest.
Truly? What is this gift, Master?
The healer, Isirithon. She's being corrupted from within. Her darkness is growing stronger. Once she is broken, she will be useless to her allies.
And then we can capitalize by taking that darkness to use against them. This is going to be fun.
My love, are we truly going to march without Chronotress?
Fear not, my love. If there's one thing I know about Chronotress, he's probably already aware of this decision.
Vypus will have set a trap for us.
No trap concocted by that snake will stop us.
He already has his spies running to him with our movements. Maybe we should wait.
I am aware of his little spy. I have planned accordingly. We have no need for Chronotress.
I trust in your judgment, but it can't hurt to take advantage of the Loyalists.
We don't need them.
Very well, my love. So what is your plan?
First, you summon the dead. Then we send them with Kohbra ahead of the main force. Whilst Kohbra leads them into the trap, our main vanguard would travel around to the south of the tower. And whilst it is under assault, we take our strongest warriors and infiltrate the tower directly into the heart of Vypus's nest. We kill him, take the Dark Heart, then use it to repurpose his creations for the reclaiming of this world.
And the Loyalists?
Once their numbers have dwindled, we press our advantage and finally take this place as our own.
What of Chronotress?
I will defeat him, finally showing who is the strongest. I will take his power for us. We shall remake this world and protect it from the mortal races, once and for all.
A world of our own. No masters but ourselves.
As I promised you, long ago.
What about what Chronotress said about the Devourer? How do we stop him?
With the power of the Dark Heart and the crucible that you carry, we shall destroy him. He thinks I'm working for him, but I am Infernos, and I serve no one.
What was Inferno so desperate to prove?
He believed that there was no hope for this world if the mortals took it. And he wanted to prove that he was right.
Even if it meant destroying everything in the process? Seems to me that he was doing the exact thing he claimed to be fighting against.
Such is the way when a misguided notion turns to bitterness and hate.
That's one thing that's never changed. What of the AVINGER?
With a host of armies and a host of spirit agreeing to assist them, the AVINGER made their way back to the rendezvous with Chronotress, Ahtreyu, and the few remaining loyalists. There was a sense of trepidation as they neared their destination, but each of them knew that this would be the turning point of the entire war. They knew, however, that even with the angelic armies of the Haven, the greatest weapons they had would be their faith and their determination.
Welcome back, my friends. And to my father's hosts, I bid you a fond welcome, and give thanks to my father for your assistance.
We were not unhindered. Evergreen was attacked at the gates.
Attacked? By who?
Ada. And a sizable force of Ruechelle.
Wait, the Ruechelle got to Evergleam? How did they manage to get there? Only the chosen of Ordos, or specific agents of Alkai, know that path.
From what the Guardians were saying, it seems that Ada somehow managed to pick up our trail. That does not bode well.
Ada is no longer a problem. I defeated her in single combat.
She's gone.
You're certain of this? Ada is not easily defeated.
What? You question my ability to fight? Just because I dedicate my power to healing, you think I can't defend myself?
Calm yourself, Lady Isirithon.
No one was suggesting...
Oh, and I suppose you think I'm incapable as well. What?
When you defeated Ada, how did the battle take place?
What are you getting at, Jahrett?
Just a theory, brother. You said you fought them too. Did you see Isirithon and Ada fighting?
I saw them charge each other, then Ada vanished, and Isirithon was, well, in some sort of trance.
That makes sense.
What is your theory, Jahrett?
Why has there always got to be something untoward happening? When I tell you I've defeated something in single combat.
Firstly, nobody has ever denied Isirithon's capability in combat, so you can stop trying to use that against her. Secondly, you're not as clever as you think, Ada.
I am so confused right now.
How delightfully clueless you are. The Creator's finest indeed. Aren't you meant to be as wise as you are powerful? Clearly this bonehead is all hammer and no nail. He couldn't even tell I was inside his own dear friend.
You will release her, or so help me out!
You'll... what, Storm Warden? You can't touch me without hurting her. From what I can tell from her mind, that's not something you're willing to do, is it?
I don't know how you managed to possess Lady Isirithon, but it won't last. She will eject you. She's more powerful than you can ever know.
Oh, I'm sure she's absolutely amazing at healing. But take that away and all you have is an angry little girl, still trying to make sense of a war that should never have happened. She gives a good scrap, I'll admit, but she's no warrior.
That just goes to show how little you know. Whilst you were turning your back on your duty, she was learning to embrace hers. She saved more lives than you've ever taken, throwing herself on the front lines of battle to heal warriors even whilst they are still fighting. It's the mark of a true warrior.
I don't really care, Jester.
We do, so get lost.
Oh, don't worry. I've got everything I need already. Be seeing you.
Alright, lass. Take it easy. We've got you.
What just happened?
What is the last thing you remember?
Centennial gave me this amulet. We were leaving Evergleam. And now I'm here.
It seems you were possessed, but you seem okay now.
I'm sorry, Lord Chronotress. I didn't realise.
Ada's a sneaky one. It's not your fault, lass.
What did she mean when she said, "I've got everything I need"?
I dread to think.
We will deal with that in due course. Right now, we must prepare for our march.
A moment, my lord. We are not alone.
Renegade.
Feels familiar. Give me a moment.
Jahrett. I should have known I couldn't fail you, old master.
What are you hoping to achieve here, traitor?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You'd better start loosening your mouth, and maybe you'll be spared my fangs.
So clueless.
I'm not in the mood for this. Start talking.
Easy, Isirithon. Don't let anger cloud your mind.
Oh, yes. Can't have your designated healer losing her cool. What would her master say?
There's two ways we can do this. You talk and be shown mercy, or you keep your forked tongue behind your teeth, and we expedite your final journey to judgment.
No need for all that. We can find things out another way.
Tread carefully, Jahrett. That is a dangerous tactic of which you speak.
Do not fear, Lord Warden. I won't need to break any tenets.
You think you can use your little mind trick on me, do you? Those days are long gone. Nobody can pierce my mind. Lord Vypus saw to that. You may as well kill me. I'm giving you nothing.
On the contrary, you've just given us one of the answers we were seeking. Now we just need to find out what prize is offered you to make you his little spy.
Try as you may, your efforts are for naught. I will never tell you of my lord's plans.
That's absolutely fine. We already know this scheme. Turns Infernos and the renegades into a trap and wipe them out. Sound about right?
How could you possibly know?
Oh, we know a lot more than you and your master think. But here's the kicker. We're not the only ones who know. So really, your attempts at deception and concealment are absolutely pointless. Just like your master's plan.
You're bluffing. You could not begin to conceive the grandeur of my lord's plans.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Bluffing is an act of deception. We are AVINGER. We do not need such things.
Let's make this easy for you to understand. We stand with and for Elkai, so nothing can stand against us. No scheme, no enemy, no weapon that your ilk forge against us will prosper.
Like every plan that came before, this plan will also amount to ash.
You can tell your master that we are coming for him, and he will face the Creator's justice.
You chose your allegiance, and you, like your allies, have been found wanting.
Oh, you think you actually have a chance?
Lord Chronotress, this one knows very little of our plan. He knows only that we plan to march on Vypus.
I trust you have a plan in mind.
Let's tell him a tale that we right for him to tell.
Deception is not our way. You know this.
It's not deception if he reports exactly what he knows. All we need to do is change the script, so to speak.
Let him go with what he already knows. Gain advantage with what he doesn't.
Precisely. That way we are not deceptive, because he is only reporting what he has seen so far.
There is wisdom in what you say. Very well. Release him, Jahrett. There is no sense in a pointless death.
You will live only to regret this decision, Warden. When my master learns of how your pitiful band is planning to march on his stronghold, he will laugh.
No disrespect, Lord Warden, but are you certain this is the right course of action?
If we let him go, we lose our advantage.
What advantage? He knows how few we are. It won't make a difference if Vypus knows or not.
We don't even know how vast Vypus's army is. We are AVINGER. Whether we march against 10 or 10,000 abominations, we are Elkai's warriors. And you can tell your master that we will meet him on the battlefield. And we will be victorious.
We shall see. Soon enough.
So they just let him go? Knowing that they may be put at a disadvantage?
As Ckegdromas observed, Kohbra only knew half of their plan. He wasn't aware that the Wild Clans were preparing to answer Ahreyu's call, nor did he know of the angels that would soon be joining the fray.
And so they maintained their advantage then?
Absolutely. And soon enough, they would capitalize on Vypus's folly.
No such luck for the renegades, I imagine.
Infernos had put his plan into motion, but he underestimated Vypus. And it would be in this miscalculation that would lead the renegades to their difficulties.
I bet Infernos was regretting his decision eventually.
Indeed. Little did he know that his mistake would lead to much more than the defeat of his armies.
What do you mean?
His error would cause Infernos to feel the greatest loss he would ever know. Lexian, are the preparations made?
Yes, Lord. Though Kohbra still cannot be located.
I'm sure he'll show his face when offered the chance to lead the task force.
I still don't believe he can be trusted, my lord.
Which is why he doesn't need to know about our plans.
Understood, my lord. I will go and prepare the portal.
Excellent.
My lord, forgive my delay, but I have information. The AVINGER are preparing to march, though their numbers are pitiful.
Of course they are. But they are not my concern at the moment. I have entrusted the leading of our vanguard to you, Kohbra, as a reward for your loyalty. You will be leading the ranks of our Risen in the first wave. I trust you will not disappoint.
You honor me, Lord. I shall certainly prove my quality. What of you, my lord? To where shall we look for your coming?
I will be leading the second wave, once Vypus's minions have been bloodied.
A most masterful plan, my lord. Your enemies are sure to know your power the moment they see you.
I'm counting on it.
The Risen are ready, my love. Your second wave awaits with Lexian. The army awaits. Perhaps it would do well to offer a few words to the assembled warriors, just to keep certain prying eyes from thinking anything contrary is occurring.
My warriors, my loyal allies, my followers. We started this journey merely wanting a world of our own, and since have been met with resistance. First, from our own kin, who called us renegades. Then from the LOVATO, who were sent to quell us. And now, by Vypus, a snake who claimed to be one of us whilst taking our warriors and turning them into his disgusting creations. This day, we tear Vypus's plans to shreds, and then we show the LOVATO why we are superior, as we take this world that we have made for our own and forever banish the very idea of the mortal races being given yet another world to destroy. Warriors of the New Order, strike hard and remind our enemies why they should fear us.
Wow. Infernos really didn't like folk that were against him, huh?
He just didn't like the idea of anyone or anything being stronger than him. At any rate, the Emperor is due the day after tomorrow for the exhibition. So we should go get more supplies.
We've already got supplies, haven't we?
Well, yes. But unless you plan on hosting for an extremely drunk audience in front of our teetotal Emperor, we might need to get some actual food for the banquet.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Also, my boy, we will need to get some rest. Tomorrow, you see, we are going on another excursion.
I only just recovered from the last one.
Think of it as one last voyage with your master to tie up these loose ends. Also, there is a question that I have yet to find the answer to. Until now, I have been putting off the trip.
Why?
Because I have not had the courage to face it before, my boy. At least, not alone.
Well, in that case, I'd be honored to support you, Master.
Well then, we'd better go ahead and get some of Scritch's finest liquor as well. This is going to be the hardest part.
You have been listening to Legends of Khampiohn, the Genesis Era, a non-profit D&D fan-based audio drama, written by Brad J. Taylor and D.T. Prater, inspired by the unpublished works of Ruechelle Hill, produced by Bumblebear Creations, directed by the Khampiohn Audioverse, in association with Path of Dragons Radio, Casting Arrow Productions, and Dracon Rose Publications. Featuring Thomas Avenger as the Old Archivist, Infernos and the Devourer, TJ CROVO as the Young Archivist and Vypus, Andrew LOVATO as Ahnbiir and Chronotress, Melissa KERSH as Ahtreya, GHOSTWAFFLES as Ahtreyu, ACTASH as Ckegdromas and Spymaster Jahrett, SCAZZA SCARLETTI as Isirithon, Brad J. Taylor as Thonor, JAYLIN DUNN as Dyani, Scott WELNOSKY as Kohbra, FREDERIK VERHAGEN as Lexian, Chris Highwell as Earth Primal Gofanin, Raven Anderson as Wild Earth Titan, and Vanna O as Fathora, Mother Elk and Fell Titan. Enjoying the story so far? Why not leave us a rating on Spotify, like and subscribe on YouTube, or head over to Podchaser or Apple Podcasts to leave a review. All the links are in the description.
My lord, I wonder if I might speak freely whilst the others are making preparations.
Of course. What's on your mind?
You know, I'm not usually the kind to throw shade on a good thing, but during my time with Centennial, I saw some things. Things that are coming. Events, perhaps. And I am ashamed to say they fill me with doubt about all of this.
You've been given the vision of the host, then? What is it you saw that raised doubt in you?
I saw so much. Perhaps too much, Chronotress. I know you are going to have to save the Ark world, and it is a noble thing, for which I am thankful beyond measure, but I feel I must tell you, what Infernos saw with the mortals destroying this world, I fear will come to pass.
I know of that. I had hoped it would not happen, but...
Forgive me, there's more.
Go on.
I saw 300 years of peace the Alvin and the Titan working together. I saw the Alvin becoming two nations, one in the sky and one in the seas and forest, and the other in the mountains and the deep places of the world. I saw the mortal races at war, as darkness began to enter the world from the shadow realm once more. I saw us fighting ourselves, split in two between our natures, the balance on a tipping point. I saw great cities falling from the sky, kingdoms and empires ablaze. Even if you cause the world to be remade, I fear these things will happen.
I've seen these things too, but rest assured it is not all darkness. I know that the darkness will return, and you will have the most difficult of times. But I've also seen the races of multiple worlds coming together to defend the Ark world. I've seen lost children forge a new future, an empire born out of the necessity to protect what is sacred to our father. And I see the heart of a mortal child, filled with courage and power like thunder. And that child will unite the mortal races with bonds stronger than desperation for survival.
I assume the others aren't aware of your task?
Only Elkai, myself, you, and Jahrett know. So do not let your heart be troubled. The others will understand once my task is done. But until then...
Of course Jahrett would know. I think on all you have said and pray on all I have seen, it's not going to be the same without you, you know?
After this, nothing will be the same. Such is the way of things, always changing like water.
Well, at least after you, there'll be free reign on anecdotes, which I intend to fully claim, you know.
I will remember your humor, my friend.
Who said I was joking?